What's up, Chad? How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. It is another week. It is Monday. Let's see what the waves are gonna give us. Good to see you here. This time I'm not in my Koens hoodie, right? As we had the live stream and everything yesterday. Incredible to, of course, reach that number together with all of you. Very special. And yeah, now we are going to be in the 5 digits for quite a while till eventually we get to like 6 digits, I suppose. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. A couple of things I want to say before we go into the Elliott Wave analysis, what I'm going to be looking for here, and then we go into chatting and Q&A. So number one is that with regards to all the emails I received yesterday, I will go through that after the live stream because I have 60 emails at the moment and they might still be coming in. So I have to go through that, and it takes a bit of time. And not gonna lie, I do feel a little bit stressed in a way with everything that that's happening. So so I am going through your emails and I'm gonna go through them one by one. I won't answer. I just make sure that the new members, will have the right role, and then after, I will go through the list again, all the emails, and then answer everyone one by one, as I like to do. Secondly, I, of course, opened the surprise for everyone in the community. There's 2 channels in Discord, and please give me feedback because I'm hesitant about one thing, and that's a little bit of a question mark. So, of course, I had a surprise for everyone as well. We hit 10K. And as written in the Koens update section here, over the past 12 months, I got many questions about, hey, I tried to learn Elliott Waves, or at least maybe, you're interested, but how do you actually trade it? So with this in mind, I decided to work on something in the background to help people get an idea of how do I trade Elliott Waves, and hopefully you learn something from it. Now, that's mainly point number 2 here. And in point number 1, I was like, would people be interested in the results? Yes or no? Because so the thing is, I don't want to influence. I mean, that just happens already with YouTube. So, but I mean, generally, I don't really like sharing profit pictures because it might give a wrong idea in a way, right? I don't want people to hurry, get into positions or stop or whatever. So I share them randomly, not when I TP or stop loss previously here in the channel, and now that it's open. But I'm not yet sure about doing this for now. But of course, then we also have the setups channel, and the setups channel is pretty much where I share setups, and I also explain why I then enter that setup, right? Why do I enter? Why do I think it is something that I'm interested in? And hopefully by sharing it, and I share it just in advance of entering or the moment I am entering, so it's all live. I share that setup that I'm taking, and I explain why I take it. So I also share the position tool, and I hope that by explaining why I enter a certain trade, it helps people to eventually recognize setups for themselves based on Elliott Waves, right? So, of course, I do realize it's a setup I'm interested in, something I trade, but there's an educational bit to it where hopefully people understand, hey, he's entering because that's the example, right? Because a zigzag was invalidated. What did I put in the group? That was one of the longs that I had at the lows. So over here, this was one of them, right? Price hit the 618 locally, invalidating wave 4. It hit the 0.7, reducing probabilities for a double zigzag, potential low, bigger swing trade entry. So that is how I go about the setups channel, which is, I do want to hold that one because I think it's very cool for people to learn how to trade Elliott Waves. The first channel is still something I would love to have feedback on because I'm a little bit hesitant in a way, but yeah, at least this is now the way I launched it, and based on your feedback, I can always change it, remove it, adjust it, keep it. So yeah, hopefully you liked it, and yeah, let's see what the future then brings, right? So yeah. So that is with regards to the surprise for everyone. Also, the links are in the description. They should be at the top. I put them at the top for this live stream, I believe, just to make sure that if you want to check it out, it's there, it's free. If you want to know more, you can write me a message. And if you're not able to enter, of course, BingX, send me an email. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to say before we start. So first of all, I feel a little bit stressed because of everything that's coming at me now. 60 emails, and trying to keep track of Discord, launching something new, writing the post for everyone, which is a bit of a challenge, and so I can feel it. And then on number 2, we actually launched a surprise for everyone. It's the top link in the description. And yeah, hopefully you learn something. And yeah, maybe one day we're in the, you can trade Elliott Waves for yourself as well very effectively, like I do myself. So that being said, in this video from now on, we're going to talk about the Elliott Wave analysis. Right, not too much has changed, as price pretty much the whole day has been ranging inside this resistance area, right? So on the 15-minute, there's not too much difference, but I will explain what I am looking for in order to get a bit of a better idea with regards to like confirmations, as like, are we going that way? How probabilities change, basically, and then we go into chatting and Q&A. So yeah, welcome everyone. By now there are so many people right at the start. It's actually not even easy to keep up with all of you now and go one by one. But it's good to have you here, everyone. Welcome. Completely lost in the Elliott Wave count. We're gonna cover that, of course. So also, this is the final thing. So yeah, a little bit stressed. We have the new surprise, top link in the description. And on number 3 is I learned a lot from the giveaway we did yesterday, hitting 10K. Because after the live stream, I was thinking about the process and how things were ran yesterday. And there's definitely things I can improve. I've never done a giveaway ever for so many people. So it was quite an experience, and so many time zones, and which is a challenge. So I promise you that the next one, as I've already thought about it, will be one where we don't have the same problems. We don't have problems of people not appearing. We will not have the problems of time zones. We cut all of that out. It's going to be very straightforward in a way, and it's going to make my life easier, your life easier as well. So yeah, definitely learned a lot from the experience yesterday for the future giveaways that we are gonna do. So yeah, now we are at 10.1K. I don't know, guys. It's it goes very fast. Rob, what's up? Yeah. So everyone, good to have you here. Let's start, and then we go into chatting and Q&A, and then I can spend a bit more time with all of you, of course, and answer any questions you have. Right. So. Yeah, let's see what price is wanting to do. Now I'm gonna zoom out. That's where I'm gonna start, because I actually want to start on the weekly. Now in the morning update, I did mention the weekly time frame, but there is something that I didn't mention in a lot of detail, which is that the potential for wave 4 to be in is there, and a continuation to the upside, which is the highest probability in a wave 5. Arguably, probably soon, the bearish scenario is going to be a bigger range in a WXY or a flat. But I'll get to that in a second, because in this live stream, as we have a bit more time together instead of a 10-minute video, I can explain a little bit more. So we're going over these folders here, right? One by one. And I will, once we go to the 4-hour, I will talk a little bit more about if the current bearish scenario in the 4-hour is invalidated, what's next. So the bullish scenario, right, quite straightforward. We know this one by now, double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, potentially this wave 4 here is finished, right? This is the target area for wave 4. Been talking about it for weeks. This range so far is 5 weeks, I believe. So taken from the low to the high of this wave 3, we have the 0.236 and the 0.5, 63.3, 53.3 invalidation, the 0.618, right? Fibonacci. Now, in this scenario, we are looking for continuation to the upside in a wave 5. So we want to see impulsive structures on the lower time frames, which we can identify. And we want to see strong continuation. We want to see price take this high and continuation to the upside to look for a wave 5, right? And then the end of a 3 multi-month sideways range in a wave 4, and then continuation to the upside in a wave 5, right? Now, before I go to the lower time frames, talk about those bullish scenarios very quickly. The bearish scenario is a flat, lower probability. This is a regular flat target, which has a lower probability than a expanding flat target for a wave B, which is up here, right? 98K, 122K. Regular flat is less common than an expanding flat, so naturally turning around over here has lower probabilities. Also in this wave B, if we are looking for a move to the downside in C and wave B is in, we want to see impulsive structures on the lower time frames to the downside, which has a lower probability, as I will explain in a second, because currently over here probabilities on the 4-hour are not high for an impulse to the downside. Target for your C is all the way down here. 1 to the 1.236 is your common target, 16.5K to 11.6 from the high to the low to the high. Now, if we go to the 4-hour, shortly explain why on the 4-hour a impulse to the downside has a lower probability. We hit the 886, right? And the 886 taken from the high to the low of wave 1, which is a rare target for a wave 2, common for a wave B or a wave X, increasing probabilities. Any move to the downside is a wave C or a wave Y. Increases probabilities to go back up at a later stage and take the highs, right? Secondly, this wave 1 counts very difficult as an impulse. Probabilities are higher that this is a corrective structure instead of an impulsive structure, which in turn increases probabilities that everything that follows after is a corrective structure, increases probabilities to continue to the upside sooner or later. I see it in the corner of my eye. Marco Zagreb, Marco, I just call you Marco. Welcome to the team, man. Welcome to Diamond. Send me an email, koenztrading@outlook.com, and I'll get you sorted as soon as I can. I will go through all my 61 now emails, if not more, because of the giveaway yesterday. And then I immediately went to dinner with my wife, and then at night I didn't have time to go through emails, and this morning, so I'll get there. But cheers. Welcome to the Diamond team, man. Appreciate it. It's going to be a valuable experience, I'm sure. But welcome, Marco. How you doing? How you doing? Where are you from? As we are waiting for a reply. Let's go to the bullish scenario. Cheers, mate. Bullish scenario, a finished regular flat. A, B, C, right? 3 wave A, 3 wave B, 5 wave is C to the downside, ending on the 1-to-1 trend base wave extension from the high to the low of A to the high of B. Common target for a wave C. We know that by now. Now, if that is the low, then we are looking for a continuation to the upside. So we want to count impulsive structures, right? This is the most bullish scenario, where we have our wave 1, 2, double 1, 2, and we continue to the upside. We are waiting for wave 3. Now keep in mind, a double 1, 2 might also become a triple 1, 2, right? You can still have another 1, another 2, and then continuation. We don't know. But the most bullish scenario is that your wave 2 here is in, and the probabilities are also by far higher that this wave 2 is finished, because if this is still part of a wave 2, this wave 2 compared to wave 1 is a lot longer than 6 times wave 1. Take a fib time from the start to the end of 1, double click, and the 5 fib time really is almost like an invalidation, but really lowers probabilities for this to still be a green wave 2, right? So the probabilities are much higher for this wave 2 in a bullish scenario to then be finished if we are looking at a wave 1, 2, another 1, 2, right? So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3-wave correction, continuation, where potentially this wave 2 is also already finished. Now, based on time, fib time from the low to the high of blue 1, we double click. This wave 2, right, in time, still has enough room, as you can see. So there's always the potential, and something we have to think about, of a flat, A, B, C, which is the reason why my invalidation is still below this wave 2, right? It's on top of this wave 2 and not over here, because officially it's not really yet invalidated that we can have a bigger 3-wave structure, which would then be a flat. Now the probabilities aren't too high for this blue wave 2 to not yet be finished and to get a flat, or at least for a flat in particular, because we got quite close to the 1.618, which is a uncommon target for a wave being a flat. It's however not an invalidation, so as long as we don't really escape the 1.618 to the upside, the probabilities are still there for a potential flat structure and this wave 2 to not yet be finished. But it doesn't change the invalidation that we have over here, right? So that is the hard invalidation, and the probabilities are highest for a double 1-2 and continuation compared to a flat and then continuation. Keep in mind, we still have a potential third 1-2 as well, no? This is the fib time, I already showed that. Now, alternatively, this is what's going to be important also with regards to probabilities, is there is always the potential here now for a diagonal. And it is then a leading diagonal, right? So this diagonal is a wave 1, we then expect a 2 and a 3. Lower probability at the moment than the multi 1-2 setup or scenario that we have. And that is because this wave 3 is very short compared to 1. It didn't hit the 0.618 trend-based fib extension from the low to the high to the low, which is not a must target, but the 0.618 is already an uncommon target, so not hitting it is quite rare. However, the minimum target for wave 3 is going above 1. And that is something that it did do. Then we have our 4, and then we look for 5. Now the moment, and this is important, price hits this 1-to-1 here, taken from the low to the high of 3 to the low of 4, the probabilities go down for this diagonal scenario, as wave 5 is going to be longer than wave 3, and that is not what we like to see. That is an invalidation. So 67K, therefore, hitting this level here, and the probabilities increase for a double 1-2, and then potentially, of course, a third 1-2, but at least the 1-2s here have a higher probability than a diagonal, which in turn increases the probabilities for this low to hold. In a diagonal, right, you could still come down and then continue up. The moment you take and invalidate, take the 1-to-1 and invalidate that diagonal, the probabilities decrease to come down here and increase to move towards the upside. And then we just follow what price does, right? We keep track of price and look what price is going to do as it continues to move towards the upside, in potentially a continuation of the trend. Now also the bearish scenario is very interesting, as I'm waiting for my chart to load here. There we go. So we almost hit the invalidation of this scenario, the 0.618 Fibonacci taken from the high of 2 to the low of 3. Now the probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view for this scenario are already low. We have here an unfinished flat ABC where wave C is not yet finished, which therefore then means that after this 3, all of this price action is wave 4 price action. However, counting all of this now as a wave 4 is a real struggle, unless this is a wave A, B, and you get an ending diagonal in your wave C at the moment. So that is something we do have to keep in mind. If the diagonal is not invalidated, so 67K, 67.1K is not touched, and price moves down, we have to look important for proof of support, because there is the potential for continuation to take the low. At the moment, not the highest probability, but it is something we have to keep in mind. So therefore, my patience is very much focused on hitting the 1-to-1, 67K, 67.1K. Hit that and the probabilities increase for price to move up. There's always that possibility. Now, time-wise, this wave 4 is very long. So the bearish scenario here doesn't have high probabilities compared to the bullish scenario. And this wave 4 is long as well. You can see the fib time taken from the low of 1 to the high of 2 to the low of wave 3, comparing 2 with 4. And currently we are ranging, and this high has been made after the 5-pip time, which is not really what you want to see. It significantly reduces probabilities for a wave 4 to be that long compared to a wave 2. So that adds probabilities to the bullish scenario. The hard invalidation for 4 is here at 67.3k, but nonetheless the probabilities based on the local price action are higher for the bullish scenarios compared to the bearish one. However, and I'll repeat, if we do move down and we don't hit 67k, this diagonal can be a wave 1 or potentially a wave C. Lower probabilities for a C than a 1, but by all means we then need to look for proof of support. Currently the diagonal does not have the highest probabilities, so let me do it in order. Highest probabilities, right? Then we get to the alternative. This is number 2. So number 1 probability is this. Number 2 probability is this, but we need to, we want to, oh wait. Highest probability here, but I would like to hit 67k to give me more confidence, but it's the highest probability from an Elliott Wave point of view. Then we have the diagonal, not yet invalidated, but doesn't have the highest probabilities compared to the double 1, 2, right? Because of the wave 3 that we have over here. And then here, the highest probability is this to be a wave 1, then a wave 2 and continuation. So that's a bullish scenario. And then the third option, which is the of an A, B, C with a diagonal in C. And that is why if we do get a diagonal, we have to pay close attention to proof of support here. If there's no support and we go down on high volume, we're going to look for the lows. As simple as that. If we hit this level, we're not going to look for that. Oh, I got an error again. If there's any lag, make sure to let me know, because I don't know why that happens now. Maybe some settings have changed. I gotta check that. If there's any lag, I'm sure you'll let me know. Now, with regards to the CVD divergences, yeah. Even loading the chart takes a little bit. I might have to check and clean up the internet. But slight lag, yeah. Ah, damn it. Little bit. Let's hope it goes away soon. There was a little lag, seems to have passed. Thank you, guys. Okay, I'll make sure to check my internet. I'll check my internet after the live stream for the next one. So I'll check the bit rate as well. And I do have the cable now, but I'm gonna check it after. So the bullish CVD divergences that we see, all of these have played out, right? So that is all fine, perfect. Now locally, we had some bearish CVD divergences here. These have already played out as price took this low. So that is now done. On the 15-minute, let me actually go to the 5-minute. You could see it here. Lower high on price, but look at my my cursor line. You can see that the blue just above here is the blue line went above my cursor, right? So bearish CVD, lower high on price, but a higher high on blue. Bearish CVD, some absorption, price moving down, taking the low. Bullish CVD played out. Now let me see. As price then moved to the downside, some bullish CVD with the low here. Higher low in price, but on blue, you can even see it now live as well. Lower low on blue. Target would be the high over here. If that bullish CVD is going to play out, this is your target. So this then brings me to the probabilities of the different scenarios, right? And on the weekly time frame, the probabilities are highest for continuation of the trend of the bull market to the upside, right? So here we have it, probabilities weekly, from 1 is bullish, 2 is bearish. On the 4-hour, bullish, a finished flat has a higher probability than a unfinished flat. In other words, this being a low here has a higher probability than price coming back down to take the low. And on the 15-minute, currently here, the probabilities are highest for a double 1-2. Then we have the diagonal, and then we have new lows. Now, just to prepare you, because this is something that I will talk about as price moves to the upside. Yeah, I should, yeah, thanks B channel. If there's any tips, write me in DM. If price is going to invalidate this bearish scenario and actually hit the 0.618, like hard hit it, meaning like just take it. Probabilities aren't high, but I want to see it taken. The moment that 618 is hit, the bearish scenario on the 4 hour is going to change to this. Either a WXY or an ABC. This is what you're going to see me talk about, so I'm already prepping you now. So the regular flat in this case is only going to be your first corrective structure of a bigger three waver. That is going to be the bearish scenario. Eventually, you still expect price to continue towards the upside and continue the trend. Right? Now in a W and then an X and a Y, most commonly wave X stays below the high, and wave X most commonly is a zigzag in a 5-3-5. Now if we are indeed building a couple of 1-2s, the probabilities are higher to get eventually a bigger move and continuation of the trend, so that would still have the highest probability depending on the on how price moves up. If we see a big move, right, a direct, like I like to call it a line, just poof, we look for continuation. Because in a wave X and a wave B, which is for a flat A, B, C, we need to see a three-wave structure, preferably a zigzag, as that is most common. So if price is just going to move up in a straight line, we look for higher and continuation. The moment we see this, right, that is when either here we are finishing B or X or lower, or continuation, because this is now a potential 1, 2, and we go up for 3. Or this is an A, B, C, and we go down. But that depends at that time. This is in the future. It depends all on the reaction we see there. So it's very, very early to talk about this. But I just want to prep you that if we move up and hit 67.3, yes, probabilities are higher to look for higher. But it doesn't mean it's 100% trend continuation, because the bearish scenario is going to change to a bigger three waver. And of course, we continue to see what price does. If we get a straight line up, we look for continuation. The moment we get a bigger three waver, there is the potential, of course, for the bearish scenario. So as well, the continuation of the range. So that is the analysis today here. That is what we are looking for with regards to Bitcoin, of course. Locally, price is ranging at resistance or in resistance at the moment. I have the key level here, which is the previous high, pretty much close to the invalidation of the diagonal as well, which is therefore an interesting area. As you can see here, 67K, right? And then we have some resistance above us. So let me actually go through this. Let me remove. 1 second. What do we still have there? Oh, we still have a daily. And a daily naked point of control. Let me do this. So I'm going to make that one smaller. And I'm going to make it blue. Cool. So resistance to the upside. We have the blue box here. Right, 68.2, 69.2K. Then another blue box, 77 to 72K. That's quite a big one, but there's a lot happening in that area. So it's just an interesting area to observe the reaction. And to the downside, we have a little bit of support. 63.9K is an area of interest. We do have a weekly naked point of control just below 63.5 and a daily above 64.9. So I didn't put a target box around it, like an area of support or resistance, as those are like very single levels, like it's just one line. But it's good to know about, especially the weekly naked point of controls are always important. And below this, we have 61.7, 62K, another area of support. So that is the Elliott Wave analysis. I actually forgot when we started. So I need to check time. B channel, man, he just continues. He doesn't stop. B channel, thanks for the gift. Thanks for supporting the community here. Dexter, make sure to send me an email, another one, koenztrading@outlook.com. I'm gonna go over all my emails after the stream, and I will get you sorted, as well as everyone else from yesterday. So B channel, thanks, man. Crazy, appreciate it. Yeah, so raise the priority. I'm not sure, maybe everything is priority. I gotta check the settings here. So, yeah, and of course, Marco, cheers, man. Welcome. Not doing alts at the moment. The altcoin streams will be the first Sunday every month. So the first Sunday of the month is the altcoin stream. And if I can't on a Sunday, then I'll do it on a Saturday. And if I can't on Saturday because I'm gone for the weekend or whatever, I'll let you know. I'll do it another day. Elliott Wave analysis started at when? I think we started somewhere here at like 3:53, which is about 23 minutes ago. And I'm now streaming for 34. So that's about 11 minutes ago. So let's say 11 at 11 min. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so let's see what prices. So now you know what I'm looking for and how probabilities will change. Let me quickly have a little side here. All good, Jeroen. Got to pass those tests, eh? Yes, I'll repeat very quickly what I said in the beginning just now as well, like after I quickly scroll through here. Incredible Sub-Zero, hopefully you got a little bit of clarity. Good morning, RS Miller. Welcome, everyone. Peter, what's up? What's up? Spot Trader. I make future strategy. I like to hear that people create a strategy. Man, it's so important. V channel more in CVD. Yeah, so we checked CVD. Rob from LA, what's up, everyone? Obelix, Abid. Tricky trading short term nowadays. Breakout seems imminent. Yeah, so currently I'm looking more for swing trades compared to day trading. Also, we are at resistance here. And we do have the diagonal possibility. So I'm pretty much waiting now for new positions. I'm just waiting. I just need more information. So I'm very patient. For a potential new position, but if so, I'm looking for swings now, and then based on new information coming in the future, I will see how I manage the swing. But I am looking at the moment for swing longs, but in this area here, right? I mean, as the probabilities change, I just want to try. You have a swing long, I try to enter another swing long, and that is how I build a position. So I enter a trade, and the moment it starts to move, if I have an opportunity to enter like later again, then that's how I scale into a position. So or into a bigger one. I risk 1% with the first one. And then if I can enter later again because there's another good opportunity, that's another 1%. But then the stop loss of the first one goes break even or moves up. So I limit my risk, but my swing potential becomes bigger. So that's what I did at 40 to 44K as well. It's exactly the same. There were 2 or 3 ranges. Like there were 2 ranges in that area. I entered along in both. And then you just manage them during the way up. Impulse potential, absolutely. Victor, thanks everyone. Yeah, 10K is such a special number. It's crazy to think we reached 10K in about a year. It's incredible. It's incredible. Thanks also for letting me know about the lag. Christian, of course, if you're subbed, you can click the notification bell next to the sub button in YouTube, but sometimes, and that's the thing with YouTube as well, so I tend to upload, of course, 3 pieces of content a day, but YouTube only allows 3 alarms a day. So, and that is in a 24-hour period. So if I don't upload my videos exactly at the same minute every day, one video, the 4th one, is not going to have an alarm. And then the 3 after are going to have an alarm again, and then the 4th one won't have an alarm, because I have morning, afternoon, evening. So what may also help you is to go to Discord, click on reaction rules, click on the purple button here, because every time I upload, I tag the team. So we're all one team. I just happen to be the guy that makes some videos, right? But I always check the analysis of everyone in the group, and so I tag the team so that everyone in Discord that clicked that purple button gets a notification in Discord, just in case YouTube doesn't actually give a notification. So therefore, Dr. Daddy, Shane, Neelish, what's up, everyone? Okay, here we are. I just started training a few weeks ago. I now have a plan, and I'm waiting for my setups. I love to hear it. First of all, welcome to the industry and welcome to trading. But I like that you have a plan and you are waiting. Man, patience is so important. Not often do you hear new people waiting for setups. I would like to learn free as much as I can before beginning a membership. Is there any free education material, any way to be part of community, just in good spirits? Absolutely. I mean, there's lots of, so it depends on what you like. Of course, we are more Elliott Wave minded, but we have a great community. So in the description, there's a Discord link. If you scroll down, there is a Discord link. We have a Discord community, which is public. It's free. You can just access it. It's great. There's a lot of chatting, a lot of sharing, a lot of people helping each other out as well, and giving feedback or sharing ideas. And with regards to Elliott Waves, I also have in the description, if you scroll down, an educational title with all sorts, first of all, with an Elliott Wave website link, which is this one. So the link of this website is in the description. It's called Elliott Wave Detailed, I believe, bit.ly/Elliott Wave Detailed. So this one is great for free, it's public, no commission or whatever. It's just a public website, but I like it. This is a very good website, in my opinion. And then I also shared a couple of books, and then the gold course, or the gold membership is the gold course. That is of course not free, so that is not where I recommend starting in your case. And how to trade Elliott Waves, like learning on how to actually trade from the scenarios. That is something that I actually posted online today. It's something new, which is in Discord as well. It's the top link. Do you change leverage? Yeah. I usually change either 5 or 10 or I trade 5 or 10x. But that's mainly because I like to have margin for more than one position, right? And secondly, sometimes if my stop is shorter than 1%, but I want to risk 1%, I need at least 2x leverage. So generally, I can keep it on 10x because my stop losses are not so far away that it gets close to liquidation, but it gives me enough opportunity to enter in other positions. So yeah, welcome, Crazy Potato, man. Gabriel, if we go to 78 and then a big wave 4. So the yellow wave 4 on the weekly, a wave 4 of a higher degree does like to retrace to a wave 4 of a lower degree. But taking the low is not something you see very often. So in a bullish scenario, what we're talking about is the yellow count is the higher degree Elliott Wave count, and the green count is a sub-degree of yellow 3. Now, a wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the price action of a wave 4 of a lower degree, so the price. But it does not often move below that wave 4. That's something that would be rare. Yeah. So there is the potential for wave 4 to come down to the wave 4 of a lower degree, but you don't really expect it to take the low. At least not now. Probabilities would be low. Is wave 4 downwards invalid? Swakse is if 67.3k is hit, then the answer is yes. Subscriber demand ETH files view. Altcoin stream first Sunday of the month. We very much look at Bitcoin mainly, but then the alts are every Sunday, first Sunday of the month. Yeah, cheers, Christian. Pleasure. I need EDF equal to your number of subscribers so I can go all in. Thanks, Obelix. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy to see what you do, because of course, my content improves over time based on all of your feedback. But yeah, it's, I don't know, the algorithm, YouTube, the number just keeps increasing. Yeah, it's quite incredible. Thanks, everyone. So yeah, how about an expanding flat? Wave 1 top on 19.4. What's the wave 1? But wave 1 or wave A? Dexter. Oh, good point. Your YouTube username, Dexter. Your Telegram / or Discord, because I will bump you up to silver. So you got gifted bronze, but then I'll bump you up to the silver membership. And in Discord I need to give you a role, so I need the username, and in Telegram I need to give you access, so I need to send you the link. But I need to double check, because it's only people can access if I say yes. So I need your username so I can check it. But Dimjack, wave 1 on 19.4. So we're talking about a flat. Well, in this, yeah, so that would be A. So we covered this, A, B, and then a wave C, but C has to be a diagonal. So the moment you hit 67k, a diagonal is invalidated, as wave 5 is longer than wave 3. So that idea doesn't count anymore. And therefore also the flat, of course, is invalidated, unless this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we'll see that at time, right? That's something we then observe at a later stage. For now, 67k is important. A flat is an option, but it is very long. So wave 4 already took over 5 times the length in time of wave 2, which lowers probabilities that this is still part of a wave 4. And we're getting close to the 6. So time-wise, the probabilities aren't great. And the diagonal has a lower probability than a multi 1-2 at the moment. Draganiel, I already have my strategy. Support resistant volume first, but I bumped with your channel when I was searching more info about Elliott Wave. I'm learning a lot. Thanks, Draganiel. And also everyone for your kind comments, man. It warms my heart to see everyone commenting when we hit 10k, and the comments on the unlisted video. I mean, yeah, it's incredible. I will reply to every single one of you. I don't know how many comments I have, 100 plus, easy. But I will reply to every single one of you, because since the beginning of this channel, I've replied to every comment, and I want to keep up my streak. There will be a time where I can't, but it's just something that, you know, I'm sitting on the couch or something, and I can like reply to everyone personally. There's no AI involved with me answering. It's always me on my phone or me typing to all of you, and I will keep that up as long as I can, until there are so many comments below videos that I'll be commenting the whole day and I can't do other work. How do you draw the fibs for wave 4? Oh, that's only from the high of 2 to the low of 4. So if we are talking about the lower probability for the people jumping in the scenario, you take it from the high of 2 to the low of 3. 0.618 is your invalidation, 0.236 to the 0.5 Fibonacci. That is your common target for wave 4. But time-wise, we are, you know, it's taken a very long time. What's up, Pistachio, man? How you doing? How you doing? Good to have you here. Pop. Are we now wave B top of wave 2? That's only if your wave 2 is a flat. So you're then talking about A, B, and then a C. But the flat has a lower probability at the moment compared to your wave 2 already being finished. Yeah. So it's all probabilities, but you almost hit the 1.618, which if price continues pumping, you will. And the moment you hit that, it's a lower, as this is all in the analysis, this was in here. So if you hit the 1.618 taken from this high to this low, Fibonacci, the 1.618 is a less common target for a wave B in a flat. So the moment you hit it, probabilities go down that you still move down in a C for 2, and probabilities are higher for continuation. Bitcoin is proving to me that we have hit the ceiling and are way away from the floor. Yeah, we are slowly moving towards the upside, at least. So almost taking the high here now. Anti-pencil neck, always a pleasure. Good to have you here, by the way. I think this is your first comment as well. So welcome, good to have you here. Is it okay to short Bitcoin now? Depends on your plan or strategy. So everyone, should have their own plan or strategy at least, or try to develop one. But from an Elliott Wave probability, on pretty much most of the time frames, the probabilities are higher to move up. But that is no financial advice. Those are just probabilities I mentioned earlier. So on the weekly time frame, bullish. On the 4-hour time frame, bullish. On the 15-minute, we are waiting actually for price to hit 67K to invalidate a diagonal. And then it's also bullish. So, yeah. Uno secondo. Does academic Elliott Wave theory work as in crypto without making exceptional? So Elliott Waves, for me at least, as it is intended by Mr. Elliott himself, definitely works for me without any modification. So I'm incredibly rule-based. So I stick to the rules of Elliott Waves. That's also the focus of this channel, is to really focus on the rules. Because surprisingly, and this is a reason that I made the channel, is there's many channels that don't stick to the rules. So that's annoying to me. So that's why I actually started to also make videos, besides being in some Discord groups that asked me if I could make some videos. So I'm very rule-based. I use Elliott Waves as it is. But I do have certain things that I noticed on the chart which help me with also trading Elliott Waves or increasing or decreasing probabilities. So, but that is just based on experience. So one of them is the 886. The moment an 886 is hit, probabilities are higher for that 886. If you do get a move down, for example, if you have a wave, or for example now here, if you have a wave A, B, C, we touch the 886 from the high to the low of A, any move down now has a higher probability of being a C or Y, increasing probabilities to take this high sooner or later. That is like just experience. You won't read that in the books, but you will. So you won't read it literally, but you will figure it out if you start to learn the theory. So once you get very good with the theory, you will start to recognize what are the common and the uncommon targets of Bitcoin. Because of all the studying and reading all the websites and the books, you can put it all together and you'll realize, okay, so the common target for wave 2 is this area, but the common target for wave B is this area, and for wave B it includes the 886, while for wave 2 it doesn't. And that's how you can play around with probabilities and yeah. But I use Elliott Waves as it is. Yes, very rule based. From 10k to 100k subs will be parabolic. 3-4 months. There's no way. I mean, no. I don't know. We're now at 10.142. Maybe by the end of the year we might be at around 20. I mean, that's probably not too far off, I can imagine. So I don't know I don't know how YouTube and everything progresses, right? So the channel went from 0 to 5,800 subs in 10 months, from February last year to December last year. And now we went from 5.8k to 10.1k in arguably 2.5 months, because I was gone in March. I was gone the whole month. But if you want to include it, then it's 3.5 months. So you almost, it's not almost doubling, but it's a big portion of doubling the number in a much shorter time. So yeah, 100k is far-fetched though. What's up, Nadim Khan? This is Elliott Waves. Elliott Waves. That is the, I suppose, strategy that I show videos about, I guess, make content about. Bruno. What's up, Bruno, man? Yeah, so unlucky yesterday, yo. I couldn't concentrate. Very nice TA once again. Thank you, Bruno. Finding a good exchange in that has been a struggle for now. I have no an account of Bybit and Coin. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Bybit is not accessible in the Netherlands. Coinbase, I'm actually not sure, to be honest. But I believe Deribit and Maxi have that opportunity. And also, Bruno, if you're gonna make an account to trade, like as like in the Netherlands, if you live in the Netherlands and you want to trade and you want to make an account, make sure to also check the Koens Updates channel in Discord. So you can send me an email, and then I can get you sorted to also get you in the Koens Setups channel if you want. Sorry. Can you look at the CVD and give your comment about it? At what you looked your video, but not 100% sure. So, okay. So with CVD, right? The theory is relatively simple. So a bearish CVD is a lower high on price, but a higher high on the CVD, which is what we actually had here. 1 second. Going to the 15. Where was it? Oh, here. So bearish CVD, lower high on price, but look at yellow, right? Look at the yellow line. Higher high on yellow. You can even see it by just looking at the blue line, funny enough. So higher high, lower high on price, higher high on yellow, right? A bearish CVD divergence. Increasing probabilities to move to the downside and take the low. Doesn't mean it always plays out, of course, right? Arguably, one could say, oh, but from this low, we also have a higher and here a lower. But this is where context matters and experience, which will only, takes time. That's all it really takes. So if you are at resistance and you start to create bearish CVD divergences on preferably a minimum 5, 15, 30-minute time frame, that is relevant. If you are at support and you see bullish CVD divergences, that is relevant. If we have an Elliott Wave scenario where the potential low of C is in and price is moving up and we start to see some bullish CVD here, this one is a little less relevant because we have a pivot on the left side of the high and on the right side of the high. I prefer to see CVD on only the right side in that case. But then here we had bullish CVD, and here we had it again, and here we had it again. And when we have a scenario where, hey, wave C might be in, we might actually be looking for a bit of a serious bounce to the upside. This can give you more confidence and potentially hold on to trades or enter new trades. So using CVD is very much in the context of where are we? So if price is moving up here and starts moving down and we see a move up and we get like big bearish CVD divergences, probabilities were likely higher this was going to be a wave C and we're going to go for a new low, but we didn't. So you can use CVD, or you can best use CVD in context with certain other tools that you're using, support resistance or whatever you like to use, and add it as an extra reason to either enter or exit, of course. So a lower high on price and a higher high on the CVD is bearish, but a higher low on price and a lower low on the CVD is bullish, and then preferably used in the context of what you're looking for. Pleasure, AJ. Mark, how you doing, man? How are you doing? How are you doing? Raccoons. This time you actually put the popcorn in here as well. What's up, Mark? Raccoons. How are you doing? What we have is an exhaustion. Yeah, so absorption is a lot more tradable than exhaustion. It's not that you can't trade exhaustion, but I cannot recommend it. Based on experience, exhaustion will create a lot more false positives than absorption, so it's better to trade absorption. Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, we're like hovering below, right? Also below the invalidation of the diagonal and indeed the 618. True. What's up, Andy? How you doing? Cheers, Bruno. Andy, can I take a long now or wait for 67K? Of course, it depends on your plan and strategy, as I always say, as you know, of course. But from an Elliott, so I can only talk in probabilities, of course, as I am not a financial advisor. But at the moment where we are now, probabilities are high that we are going to take this high sooner or later, because price touched the 886 taken from the high to the low. So any move towards the downside now has a higher probability of being corrective in a wave C or a wave Y, increasing probabilities to move back up at a later stage. Now, if we just move up directly, that's perfectly fine because probabilities are higher to take that high. That being said, on the 4 hour, right? So actually yesterday, this was a great long opportunity over here while my ass was in the restaurant. So here, that was a great long opportunity as we were looking probability wise for a double 1-2. Highest probabilities was for a double 1-2, and the move to the downside here, right? Very corrective. You have a move down, very long sideways price action, and especially the moment you see a 3 wave here and then price comes back above, you know, this is, you're going to be looking for this high, right? So after this candle, this is all very much long potential, but I mean, last night I was out with my wife. I didn't check the charts, and yeah, I missed that opportunity. But that's no problem. So now here, yeah, we have a diagonal potential. We have the 1112 potential, which has a higher probability. But if we hit 67K, the probabilities increase for 1-2-1-2, potentially another 1-2, but at least continuation. So that the invalidation that I have here, this one will move up. That is pretty much what's going to happen if we hit 67K. So the invalidation is going to move up a little bit. Yeah. We'll be joining your membership soon, my brother. Pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you. Lol. Jeremy, always welcome. And you know, no hurry, but if you're ready, I'm always there. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. I see the channel grew with 1.5% in the past 24 hours. Yes, pretty much, which is insane, of course. We're now at 10,143, which is incredible. Hitting the 5 digits now, it's very special. I was so nervous hitting 10K. I don't know, like it's such a it felt it you know, such a big thing. Yeah. What's up, Cola? You're a real teacher. You're the best. Thanks. Pleasure, and good to see you here again. I will never forget. You told me I should call you Cola. So there you go. Seriga, why is there no volume now in wave 3 and bullish scenario? Should it be right away or is it too early? In 1-2s, right? The volume is not the highest. So if you have a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, well, you don't need the high volume. That will come with the 3. So with regards to volume, right? I mean, like, arguably we have some volume increase here, but you can still create a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, move down again for another 2, and then get the 3. So it's just a lot of patience for the 3. It's just probability wise, if you hit 67k, the diagonal, 5 is too long compared to 3. So the probabilities go down for a diagonal and increase for the 1 2s. But it doesn't mean that as price is creating 1 2s, the volume needs to increase in this structure here. So the volume, what you want to see, of course, is you have your wave 1 2 3 4 5, and if you get a couple of 1 2s here as well, right? So you have a 1 2 and then 1 2 3 4 5, and then maybe another 1 2 3 4 5, because that's how Elliott Wave goes. Inside wave 3, you can count 5 waves, right? This is where eventually in a wave 3 of 3, that is where you want to see the volume. So the first couple of 1 2s here, they can be the same. It's just that once you get into 3, that is where you want to see the volume, and you'll know once wave 3 hits, or it's a potential C, but that's not really the highest probability at the moment. So because of the volume, of course, yeah. Douglas, that is correct. That is exactly what happens. So I post what I find interesting, but at the same time, those are also the ones that I enter myself. Yes. So that's correct, Douglas. Milo, not sure if I'm already sorted. I can't listen to the stream because I'm... you can't listen to the stream. Oh, so of course, it doesn't matter if I talk now in response. Let me quickly answer. There we go. So yeah, because of yesterday with the giveaways, I got so many emails and I didn't yet get to it. So yeah, so let me repeat what I mentioned earlier as well in the live stream, or at the beginning of the live stream, is that first of all, today I definitely feel a little stressed because of everything that's coming at me. I got many emails, got people asking to get access, which of course makes sense. I had to write the post for the surprise for everyone in the community that they can see how I trade Elliott Waves, which also includes when I, what I'm interested in, what I trade when I enter them. So I could definitely feel that. I also learned lessons from the giveaway yesterday because there were definitely a couple of struggles I didn't expect, and I learned one drop, man. Cheers. That's your fifth. Oh, I want to say fourth. That's your 5th drop, But yeah, cheers, one drop. Very, very kind of you. Thank you, sir, or lady, or woman. But yeah. So and secondly, yeah. So the live stream. Learned a lot of lessons on how to organize a live stream for such a big group, because I've never done it, right? Everything that I do with YouTube is completely new to me. So I never used that platform before for such a big audience. And I definitely learned my lessons with regards to people there, time zones, So next time it's going to be a lot more streamlined, a lot more straightforward, a lot easier for everyone as well. And I already know how I want to do it. So I've already thought about it last night after dinner. So I know for the next giveaway what I'm going to do. And then, of course, I this morning also posted online the new channels that we then have in both Telegram and in YouTube, or in Discord, where over here, I will also share the setups that I take myself because I want to help people to understand how do you trade Elliott waves. Now, I'm more like a swing trader. Sometimes there's a lot of Elliott wave setups. Sometimes there's very few. It depends on how easy the waves are to read. But I share what I have interest in, and if I enter, I'll that's it's in this Koen Setups channel. So you can read this. It's in Discord, also in Telegram. So of course I had to write this in the morning just to make sure that the giveaway was yesterday. So I don't wanted it to take too much time between the giveaway and the surprise for everyone as well. So I just wanted to get it done today. But it takes a while to write and make sure everything is correct. And so because the goal of the channel is very much geared towards education. I help or I answer as many questions as I can during the live streams. But also in the regular videos, I try to explain where I pull the fibs from and, higher probability, lower probability. But I, in the past 12 months, got a lot of questions about, but how do I trade Elliott waves? Because I have all these scenarios, right? I'm looking at this and this, but how do I get it done? So I was like, okay, I'm going to think about a way to help people understand how you can trade Elliott waves and why I enter. So I explain in those posts, I explain why I enter a trade there based on what I see from an Elliott wave point of view. So that hopefully people know, like, okay, so, he does this because of this. And hopefully it gets printed in the brain where people be like, okay, so if this happens next time, I might actually be interested in taking a trade, so that people learn how to trade Elliott waves, which hopefully makes people profit in the long run, because Elliott waves can be very profitable. So especially if you have a runner. Cola, always trying to be there live. Cheers. I saw another message of you here. Yeah, just let you know the first two words of my name are Cola in Korean. I see. Oh, so this is Korean. Cola. Well, there you go. I always remember, because you're the only one that has these things here. Yeah. Miller, Mark Dutch. From Boston with love. What's up, Greg? How you doing? From the Netherlands with love. Other side of the world. Andrew from Vancouver Island. How's Vancouver doing, by the way? Because I know that so one of my mentors, not trading wise, by the way, Charmaine Crooks, you may actually know her because she's quite famous in Canada. She was an Olympic sprinter, and she's now the president of the Football Federation. And so she lives in Vancouver, and I see her once in a while at events globally. And we always chat. And when I ask her, like, how's Vancouver doing? Like, so after COVID, apparently there's a big struggle with people living on the street because of people losing their jobs. While Vancouver by itself is beautiful and great, she did mention that as a problem. I'm actually curious how it's going. Just a little humor for smile. Agent, incredibly appreciative. Most of the people what are searching for. Yeah, like learning the theory of Elliott waves is one, but actually trading Elliott waves, that is the art. It's biting the bullet, knowing the probabilities and when they switch. And yeah, a technical analyst and a fundamental analyst are chatting about the markets in the kitchen. Accidentally, one of them knocks a kitchen knife off the table, landing right in the fundamental analysts. Oh, the story is not finished. Andrew is typing. Ewout, how you doing? Quick summary is it's quite similar to the morning video. Weekly time frame, bullish 4-hour time frame, looking for upside. On the 15-minute, we are waiting for the diagonal to be invalidated. Currently, there is no weakness. On the 15-minute, probabilities are higher to take this high, as price over here hit the 886 locally from the high to the low. So that is pretty much what we're looking for. And the diagonal invalidation is 67.29K, I believe, or something. So just above 67. And the wave 4 invalidation is 67.3K, which is just above. So that gives more and more probabilities to the bulls, but on the 4 hour, that is already the highest probability. It's just that on the 15, you actually want to see those levels hit. Food, the technician, ask him why didn't he catch the knife. I never catch the knife, yo. My feet would hurt with this joke, yo. I never catch knives. I prefer being late. Hey Bettina, welcome. Nice joke though, Andrew. Nice joke. You know, technicians don't catch a falling knife. The technician responded. He in turn asked the fundamental analyst why he didn't move his foot out of the way. Yo, this guy is writing a whole story. Koen, help. If the regular flat ends, what was wave C? Was it just a 5-wave structure? Wave C is always a 5-waver, but in this case it then ended with an ending diagonal. And an ending diagonal is also by itself a 5-wave structure, but all the waves are 3-wave structures. So we then have our 1, 2, 3. That would be your wave C. So yes, it's a 5-wave structure, but with an ending diagonal in the wave C, correct. I didn't think that's the end. Read the whole thing. A technical analyst and a fundamental analyst are chatting about the market's indication. Accidentally, one of them knocks a kitchen knife off the table, landing right in the fundamental analyst's foot. The fundamental analyst yells at the technician, asking him why he didn't catch the knife. You know, technicians don't catch falling knives. The technician responded. He in turn asks the fundamental analyst why he didn't move his foot out of the way. The fundamental analyst responds, I didn't think it could go that low. That's the end. Thinking, feelings, emotions, those are the ones that will hurt you the most. Eh? Cheers, Ewout. Yo, pleasure. And the analysis, of course, earlier is done as well. But Oksana, Rostem, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Zandra Brimon from the Philippines. Actually, quite a lot of people from the Philippines here. Welcome here, Zandra. Good to have you. Why did the Elliott Wave analyst go to the beach to catch the perfect wave? Kek W. Are we now like doing this? Like one-liners, Elliott Wave one-liners. How do you use the trend-based fibs? You need 3 pivots. So if we are looking for a wave C, this is the low of A, high of A, and the low of B. And we're looking for a zigzag. A, B, and then a wave C, right? We take a trend-based fib extension and we want to compare A with C. So the first click is here. The second click is at the high of A. So now I have selected the length of A, but I want to compare it to C, which means my third click is going to be at the low of B, right? And now with the first 2 clicks, I select the area that I want to compare against, right? So I select the length of A, and then the third click is I put it on B. So if I drag this around, right, I can compare it now. But I want to put it on the low of B to compare A with C to see how far wave C goes, if it goes to the common target area or not. So that's how you use the trend-based fib extension tool. It's 3 clicks. With the first 2 clicks, you select the area, and then the third click, what happens after the third click, that is what you're comparing against. So yeah, how did I learn Elliott Waves? Always a good question. So I learned Elliott Waves pretty much like being a student at university, but then by myself. So I got a notebook and a pen, and the website that I have in the description, it's Elliott Wave. It's the bit.ly/Elliott Wave detailed link. So if you open a description, you scroll down, you'll eventually see education, and there's a link there. It's a free link, by the way. It's just a public website, but that's a great one. So I first I checked lots of websites, finding all the information, writing things down. What is an impulse? Actually, wait. Okay, you want to see how I started? This is how I started. And this is how I learned Elliott Waves. Yeah, we all start here. So what is an impulse wave? What is a corrective wave? Impulse wave, wave 2 can't drop more than start of wave 1. Wave 3 can't be the shortest. The two rules, right, of generally an impulse. That's how I started. I got a notebook, got my pen out, and then I just studied, and I drew all the scenarios, and I then write the rules with the different scenarios as well. So afterwards, I have relationship, Elliott plus Fibonacci, ABC correction, regular flat, running flat, summary flats, triangle correction, ending diagonal, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, WXY, WXYXZ. It just keeps going and going and going. And that is how I learned Elliott Waves. But then you have the website. I have my notes, and then it's about implementation. So then it's about putting it into practice, and that is what's most difficult, at least for me, because the chart is not as perfect as you always read in the books. But at the beginning, you also have the feeling you need to be able to identify every single wave on every time frame, but actually that's not really necessary. You don't have to need to know every wave to know the probabilities of different scenarios. But that's only experience that comes after. So many different scenarios. Yeah, so a good analyst should be able to, out of the options, should be able to find the highest probability scenarios, which are based on the Elliott Wave rules, of course, and then be able to trade them, of course, which is another thing. So step 1 is all the theory. Step 2 is being able to correctly identify the wave structures. And correctly is actually not the right word. To correctly identify the highest probability scenarios, not the correct wave, but the highest probability. And then the next step is to actually actively trade it. Yeah. So that is the final step. Yeah. And actually trading Elliott Waves has a lot to do with invalidations. Invalidation of one scenario gives an opportunity, right? So if scenario A is invalidated, then that might be a potential long or short, just because scenario B gets higher probabilities. And yeah. Andrew, so you're set up for going down. I was caught shorting. That would be your diagonal here. That is when you want price to move down. Doesn't yet have the highest probabilities though, because also locally we hit the 886 here from the high to the low. Price touched the 886, so it's higher probability we're going to take this high sooner or later. Just probabilities. And we have for the double 1-2, we still have the potential for a flat in a 2, A, B, C. But it's lower probabilities than wave 2 being finished, just because wave B almost touched the 886. Where is it? Oh, the 1.618. So this one is still in play. You have your 3-wave A, you then need a 3-wave B and a 5-wave C moving below this one. So that is, those two are the only options at the moment to go down here locally. So you have your flat, A, B, C and up, or you have the diagonal and you look for price down and then up. Look for price proof of support, because if you do take the low of 2 here, there's always the possibility to continue towards the downside. So yeah, now price locally here, of course, right? We are moving to the downside a little bit, and then we just take it from there. So as long as price does not invalidate the diagonal, I'm just not really interested in anything here. So 886 hit. Yeah. I'm literally waiting. Yeah. So this was a nice long, by the way. But I was having dinner and I didn't check my phone after being in front of the charts the whole day. And now just wait for a new opportunity. But this for me it's too risky now. So I either want the diagonal invalidated to look for an opportunity, or I want price to move towards the downside, and then I look for proof of support lower, and then look for opportunities either here or here. So yeah. So I'm not interested to participate locally, and not at the moment at least. What did you have for dinner last night? I was with my wife. My parents went home in the afternoon. So I always, when there is the opportunity for me to choose a surprise menu, I always choose the surprise menu. So we had a 4-course dinner at a great Italian place, and I had, so how do you call all those dishes, man? I think focaccia or something, like as an appetizer. Then carpaccio as a starter, which was very nice. Truffle carpaccio, by the way. Or was that the appetizer? I have no idea. And then we had something with pasta, like, but then inside the pasta, I don't know all the names. We had spinach with olive oil. As a main, I had a entrecote, and as dessert, I actually don't really know what the dessert was. I think it was a style of tiramisu. Yeah, it was like ravioli, but it's not like the small packages. It was actually quite big, but I guess it's also ravioli. It's just a different, like, you know. So yeah. I got the same impression, to hold. Yeah, look, trading is a lot about patience, guys. It's waiting for the opportunity. I have burned myself in the past more than once to try and be part of every move. Like, oh shit, I missed the opportunity, and now when I woke up this morning, price is here. Oh damn, I have to join because price already pumped so far. I don't, I feel, I know when it's right. So I'm holding now. Like you say, I'm just waiting. We're in the middle of, like, question mark. We have the diagonal. We have the double 1 2. I just like to be very patient. So I just wait and see. Also I'm not interested for a short. We're making higher lows, lower lows. We had some bullish CVDs, but these all already played out. I don't want to short here myself. So I'm talking to myself. Everyone has their own plan, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, in this area now, here as we are, I'm not interested in anything. I'll just wait at the moment. Sometimes there's many setups, and sometimes there's very, very few. So in the live stream I did, what was it, a couple of days ago, I explained 4 setups in this area. I had 4 setups in those 2 days, which is a lot from an Elliott Wave for me, at least. Usually I'm more swingy, but if there's a setup, there's a setup. And if the 15-minute is clear, I trade the 15-minute. But now here, this is not really interesting. If we do move down, the probabilities are higher here for a wave A, B, C. So I might get interested in looking for a long, but then I do need to, I need to see proof of support. I'm not sure if I really want to yet. So taking my time. CVD. So far there's no bearish CVDs here. So price moving down, but CVD moves down as well. You don't need bearish CVD, but And we also, of course, still have the bearish scenario where if that diagonal is not invalidated, right, there is still the potential for a wave 4. It's not looking too great, but then you have an ending diagonal, ABC, toof. That would be a nice mindfuck though. So this low was made on Friday, 4 a.m. Okay, so that was during the week still at least. Yeah. But it doesn't have the highest probability yet. So yeah. What is the common target for a flat wave C? The two 1.618s. So you have your wave A, B, C. By the way, it's different per flat, right? For a expanding flat, trend-based fib from the low to the high of A to the low of wave B, toggle on your 1.618. The 1.236 and the 1.38 are less common targets, by the way. But usually they are below A. And then you take a fib from the high of A to the low of B. Okay, holy moly. And you toggle on your wave C. Between the two 1.618s, that's your common target area. For a regular flat, A, B, C, your common target area is the trend-based fib from the low to the high of A to the low of B, and it is between the 1 and the 1.236. For a running flat, the 0.618 is important, but pretty much anywhere as long as it doesn't take the high or the low of A. So yeah, that's the common target areas. I was waiting for 58k, but my orders never came, I suppose. Yeah. We just trade what the chart gives us, eh? Just trade what the chart gives us. Pleasure, Ranako. How are you doing? Good to have you here. Imran Abbas blogger, Bitcoin bearish now. I mean, a little bit of a move to the downside doesn't make it bearish. Even the only way that bearish probabilities will increase is to take this low, as then we are going to be looking for either a diagonal 1, 2, 3, or this is a wave C and we look for downside. And that all depends on the reaction we get here. So being very patient, looking for proof of support. If we do not get any proof of support, I'm not interested. We're going to look for lower. However, at the moment, we are here, not here. So there is still the potential for a 1, 2, 1, 2, another 1, 2, you know what I mean? So yeah, but as mentioned also, myself, from an Elliott Wave point of view, here, not too much clarity, not too much going on, just waiting. That's what I do now. But yeah, I'm currently just waiting. It's good to sit aside to wait for the right setup. Those days you had 4 setups were very interesting to see how it's going to play out. Yeah, sometimes you have a lot, sometimes there's a few, but it really depends on the price action. Yeah. Staying patient. This current structure looks messy to me. Yeah, same. It's an interest, especially this quick move up. That's an interesting one. Tends to be a bit wave C-ish to have very quick structures like this. But remaining patient. Ugor Yalvak, I suppose. Welcome, man. Good to have you here. Welcome. Tangerine. If you have your wave up, like now, we have this push up. If the market moves down, how will we be able to find a possible support area? Probably depends on your tool. So my support areas are here. So we are now at resistance, the white box. I have a support area. Oh, actually, arguably there's 2 more. Daily, but it's just a single level. So I'll have it on my chart, but it's not really, oh, chart sharing is off. Too strong as it's by itself, but it's interesting. I have a little blue box here around 63.9k. Weekly naked point of control, and then this box 61.7, 62k. So my SR areas are based on other tools I use, not on Elliott Waves. But I do use my target boxes and SRs for trading, right? So we are at resistance now here. We're in this box. Was about time to hit it. Goedemiddag. Yeah. Is that a regular flat on the 15-minute right now? There is the potential, yes, because we did touch the 0.9 Fibonacci from the high to the low. And once you hit the 886 or in the 0.9, any move down has a higher probability of being corrective and to move up later to take the high. Of Of course, we want to see some proof of support. Yeah. Short trend on 65995. 65. Oh, that is pretty much where we are right now. Yeah, I mean, you didn't yet take the low, but even a local market structure change can, of course, be a flat. Gotta watch out. Look for some proof of support or continuation. I wish it comes down. Put some fuel again before exploding. Yeah, you don't want too many people to win generally in the market. I mean, it's not that we don't wish people to win, because we hope people make a lot of profit, of course, always. But it's not how the market works. So if it's too obvious that, price higher low, higher high, or a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, of course we can continue, as people might still be bearish and look for price to move down. But yeah, you also don't want everyone to win. So je spreekt uit oer. Oké. Oergoor. Ik weet hem maar gekregen. Ja, ik snap het. Oer. Oh, je spreekt het uit als oer. Ugur is oer. Okay, gotcha. Could you explain how you get to support areas? Because sometimes I'm not... yeah, it's just target boxes. I actually have a video about this on YouTube, by the way. Just look for analysis paralysis on my channel. You'll find the video. So if I open this, right, then what you see is a lot of my target boxes are around horizontals, fibs, support resistance areas, but a lot about these type of things, as you can see. So that is how I find my SR. So I look at volume, I look at my horizontals, I look at fibs, and then if there is a confluence, like an area where there's a little bit of a bunch close together, then I pull a box because I'm interested to look for the reaction there. And generally, I like price to turn around at support resistance areas, as they are very nicely respected. So whenever we have a big pivot, I do like to see price bouncing on these areas for bigger changes in price direction. Your proofs of support disclaimer always reminds me of no financial advice. You could probably look at it the same way in a way, yeah, but it also hopefully motivates people to look for their own plan and strategy, because proof of support is different for everyone. It might be different for me compared to someone else. So that 886 has been golden. Alert and run from you. Yeah, it's a good one to know about. I mean, it's not always invalidating an impulse down, but it's low probabilities for it too. 6566 support, getting there. Yeah, we have of course resistance, potentially support, right? Just very simple. So yeah, we got that as well. Bettina. So stop teaching. I don't know what we're talking about. Bettina, where? Bettina, I mean, Bettina was here. Oh, Mark Dutch. Oh, I see. CME group gap 59.8. Always good to know about the CME gaps. Might not always fail though, especially in trending markets. I can't express or pronounce your name, but only Bitcoin now. The altcoin stream is the first Sunday of the month, and that is based on the votes of the community. Too much. Oh, I see, Mr. Seep. I get it. Never financial advice, eh? In the content, of course. It's a zero-sum game. Absolutely, Crazy Potato. It's a zero-sum game. If someone wins, someone loses. Yep. Yeah, Tangerine. Yeah, so target boxes is analysis paralysis. Check that video and you'll get a better idea. Hey everyone, it's been 1.5 hours. I have many emails to go through because of the giveaways. It will probably take me the whole week to get the hoodies, the caps, the shirts, and everything sorted. So it is time for me to continue my day, as in continue with the memberships and the products and my 60 plus emails that I have in my in my inbox. For some here, 60 is like, oh, 60, but I still have to reply to all of them. But yeah, I'm gonna get to work. So hey, Alicia, hi, but also bye at the same time. Everyone, thanks for being here. And make sure to today I put the surprise for the whole community because of 10K online, right? The link is in the description. It's the top part for like trades and setups. Hopefully to help you understand how to trade Elliott Waves, because learning Elliott Waves is one, but trading is a different. And based on so many questions over the past year, I decided to open up and share setups that I look at or that I actively trade. I just share them in the Discord channel or in a Telegram channel. So yeah, you can check it out and see how someone actually trades Elliott Waves in real life, right? So hopefully it helps you in a way. That being said, thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate you hanging out, spending some time with me today here. Make sure you stay safe. You know what we're looking for. You know the probabilities. You know how the probabilities change as well. So let's keep an eye on what's going to happen very, very soon. Anzor Chigahov starts to or pops in at the end with the gold membership. Anzor, welcome. Top step of the podium. Good to have you here. Send me an email with your YouTube, Discord, Telegram username if you have all three, and I will make sure to get you sorted. But yeah, cheers, Anzor, coming in hot at the end while I'm closing. So everyone, have a great evening, great morning, afternoon, night, wherever you live in the world. That's the question, as we have a very much global community here of over 10K people. It's crazy, eh? That's crazy. Okay, tonight another update, normal video, and tomorrow back with a live stream and of course a morning update. So catch you next time.